Welcome to a beautiful Sunday here in Appleton, Wisconsin. It's actually like 70 degrees outside right now.
Yeah.
Sun shining. It's not snowing.
Perfect there.
Episode 7.
Yep, that is correct.
7 weeks. We should have like a countdown to our first live show. I think it's like 4 weeks.
Get like a little meter in the top right corner.
But 4 weeks for our first live show at Wilder's Lounge and Tapas. I'm excited to be out in public for the first time.
What are tapas?
Tapas is appetizer in Spanish.
Oh.
We actually went there
Comprende?
the other day,
Hablo poquito de español.
and that was the first time I tried their tacos. The best food I've ever had.
Oh, it was
Hands
good.
down. Hands down.
You got the crab cakes,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and I got, what did I get? The crab dip, I think I got. But they got like fancy good food. It's
Try it
like 5-star, like they make your plate all pretty and stuff like that. It's pretty good.
You
And
like
then
that, Bowden?
you got a Moscow Mule in one hand and a White Russian in the other, stuff like that, you know. But
Let's get it.
June 2nd is our first live show at Wilder's. We're excited. So today it's going to be a little different. We have, first of all, we are crazy busy with the rest of the day. Softball starts today. For all the other softball guys out there watching this, good luck to you in your season starting. Our friend's got a baby shower today. Congrats to him. He's probably not watching this right now. He's getting ready for the baby shower. If he would, he'd probably be slapped. Yeah. But we got 3 topics. Okay, we're gonna transition to the topics here. 3 topics for the day. Normally we have about 5. I would say we're going to have about the same length for an episode-wise, but more in-depth on these topics.
Let's get a bunch of comments going also. I mean, these are going to be controversial topics, which, it can go either way. We all have different feelings on these, so
So, DAngelo Russell, he gets caught in the airport with some woo!
Some what?
Some woo!
Marijuana. Trying to stash it in an Arizona bottle. Bold strategy. It's kind of like a freshman
like an
move.
Arizona iced tea can, a 99-cent giant ones, but it's a stash can. You can you can screw the top off.
He paid more than 99 cents for this special one, though.
For that one.
For this one, this is an expensive one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I was listening to, the professional people speak, and they're like, why don't you just buy your stuff when you get to your destination?
Yeah. I didn't think he was like
that dumb.
Listen, the thing that we have to keep in mind is like these athletes, like they're so good at what they do.
Not at that.
Doesn't mean that they're smart human beings. DAngelo Russell, a great basketball player, right? I mean, he was in the playoffs. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. We're older than him. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
I'm old.
But the thing is, I mean, he's 23. He doesn't make the smartest decisions, obviously. I mean, come on, dude. Like, if you're watching, man, you know you can buy your stuff when you get there. Come on now.
But, like, like, how do you think that airport security, they catch bombs, they catch drugs, they catch everything, and that you think that they're going to let marijuana in Arizona iced tea, let alone you can't even carry in Arizona on a plane.
So that's what I was just going to say. We were talking about that earlier. Liquid can only be so big, okay? If you have one of those big Arizona iced teas, if the security sees the Arizona iced tea,
they'll take that.
Oh my God, man! I don't know if we can copyright this. I know I can say this because it's just a saying, but come on, man! Like, for real. Like,
so, here's another thing. The thing that we have to keep in mind, and this is my opinion, NBA is way different than NFL. I mean, do you hear anybody in the MLB getting in trouble for smoking marijuana or being tested for marijuana? Never. I've never heard of it.
Just the NFL.
NFL, yeah. NBA, have you?
No. When was the last time?
Because the league has a marijuana program, apparently.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's gonna go into
Yeah.
the.
So
He's gonna have to. Yeah.
You go into the marijuana program the first time you get caught or test positive, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It could be a $25,000 fine as well. Then there's a second chance too. But I mean, the thing is, I think the NBA is laxed on marijuana because it's legal in some states
definitely.
and not others. I think a bunch of people in the NBA smoke weed. Definitely. I mean, some of the players even talk. I mean, they came out and talked about it. But
I mean, look at James Harden. Look at his eyes.
He got poked in.
No, it's an excuse.
The other thing about
Rodgers.
The other thing about D'Lo is he's a free agent this summer.
That's a terrible look.
Some people might think it might affect his stock. I don't think it will, just because it's the NBA. If it was the NFL, then yeah. I mean, look at Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Done.
No, I was reading articles, and he's like, I love the city. I still want to be here playing for the Nets. I don't think the article said it shouldn't affect his contract.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think he's gonna go back to the Nets.
I think he likes being the head guy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Plus, look at their team; they're all young.
And they're in the East, and they made the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the East. Brings us to another point in our show, the East. So we're going to say that a few times. Couple things here, comment-wise. Brett says athletes seem to think they're invincible, which is true. I mean, you got money, which sort of goes to why carry it on the airport. Like, you don't have hookups, bro.
Like, all you should have to do is, if your agent is a really good agent, call up your agent and be like, hey, this is D'Lo. Give me a bag. How hard? I mean, come on.
An agent?
Yeah. If you have a really good
He just
agent
likes to-
working for you, that's the guy that makes the calls.
I don't know.
You just became a dog for a second. You're like,
huh? But okay, maybe just like your guy, but not your agent.
Your agent should be your guy.
he's making you the money, so I guess I don't know.
Maybe he should sign with Rich Paul then.
I don't. But it's like it's the same thing. Like with all these athletes, like beating up their girlfriends. Like,
yeah.
Like same thing would happen to any of us. Like, why do they think that they're different than us and like rules don't apply? Because
it's the spotlight.
It's
and
actually
the pressure.
it's actually more strict, probably. Like, I don't know. Somebody you hear all the stories all the time of, people getting pulled over, then they just like the cops just take their marijuana. That's not going to happen. If you're a professional athlete, you're going to, paparazzi, you're going to get busted for sure. Mm-hmm. And they're writing you up. It's like, you're under higher scrutiny than the regular person.
I'm pretty sure I read an article, which I don't know if it was a typo or not, but he got cited for under 50 grams. That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows the exact number of grams that he had on him, but anything. I mean,
I guess
48, that's a lot.
being in their situation, these guys most of them are under 25. You just get, say, signed. NFL draft, NBA draft. You're in the low 20s. These guys just signed $1 million, couple $1 million contract. They got money. These guys are hotheads.
Yeah.
Not potheads, hotheads. I mean, they do everything stupid. Not everyone.
Well, it's like the kid at the NFL draft. He got drafted and then went out and partied and got
the gas mask, I believe it was.
No,
right?
that was a couple years ago. Well, that was Larry Tunsil.
Yeah.
That had the gas mask. But this year, the one kid got arrested for disorderly conduct after he got drafted. It's like, you didn't sign anything yet. That team could let you go.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of just being in the spotlight is not beneficial to them, but it's something that, you have to learn. It's your career. You have to learn how to do it good.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I don't think it's going to end up affecting his contract.
Yeah.
I think he's going to still end up in, with the Nets.
I don't think he's going to be on the Nets. All the super teams now, like the teams that are trying to get 3 stars, somebody's going to offer him a lot of money.
I think he is one of those hotheads, though, who wants to be wants to be known. Why did he go to Brooklyn? Because he told on Brandon Ingram or one of the boys that he was texting another girl or snapping another girl.
Right.
Or, something with the girlfriend scenario.
Dang.
So,
like it.
DAngelo Russell, when he was in LA, they hated him because he snitched on him. Mm-hmm. He basically broke up, this nice, attractive lady and one of his teammates. So they didn't like him there. Yeah. But, he's at the point where he can be the number one on a team now. So why not have that attention? Why not get paid?
Yeah. And he's still in a big city.
Yeah. Brett, what about the guy that the Giants drafted this year that got shot the day he got drafted?
Yeah.
That seemed more of a wrong place, wrong situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple injuries within that.
Well,
pretty sure some
his
died
other
too.
Well, yeah, the one guy died, his friend that he played college football with.
Yeah.
The other one
got injured.
He just got injured. I don't know how bad the injury was.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they're just kind of trying to keep that one kind of low.
Yeah.
Low key.
Crazy stuff. So on to the next one here. I guess it's going to be difficult for our viewers in a way. If you haven't seen this video, go to YouTube, type in Colin Cowherd, disses Milwaukee Bucks, or Colin Cowherd, anything with the Milwaukee Bucks in the Boston Celtics series. Essentially what happened, Colin Cowherd hates Wisconsin sports. He hates the Packers.
I cannot stand him.
Essentially what he said was, hey, the Celtics came in game 1, beat the Bucks. That's what they wanted to do. They didn't care game 2. Therefore, the Bucks won. He said from there that Kyrie Irving was going to dominate the series. Chris Middleton is a fluke. Chris Middleton is only good in the East.
Isn't he shooting like 58% from the 3?
He actually has a hot... This is another stat. I throw random stats out here. I feel like every episode I say this. But this is a stat. Any player out of every player in the playoffs of NBA history that shot 100 times, he has the highest three-point percentage.
Middleton?
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. Highest percentage in the history of the NBA playoffs.
You think of some of the players? Ray Allen?
That's because he's clutch.
Paul Pierce, who's talking.
Some players have that in them, like a Damian Lillard, a clutch person like that, especially in the playoffs. Playoffs are so different than the regular season.
Yeah.
I just love hearing all these, experts talk. We got Paul Pierce on TV calling the Bucks trash. Yeah. It's like, first of all, just what we just said, Paul Pierce played in the playoffs a ton. Okay, so Chris Middleton has a higher three-point percentage than you. I wouldn't be talking, about how the Bucks are trash when a player on their team is doing better than you did in the playoffs.
I think a lot of his video remarks were pretty stupid. He's ignorant, he's dumb to Wisconsin sports. Yeah. I like listening to the guy though, because of that reason.
I would say, obviously you have to watch the video to understand what we're talking about. But if the Celtics would have won Game 3, I would have stuck by what he said. Because he wasn't wrong on what he said.
No, a lot of things were correct to what he said.
I'm a Bucks fan, but what he said is hard to disagree on.
Yeah.
Like he said, Chris Middleton is only an all-star in the East. That is something I truly agree with.
That is true.
Because the West, they just have more all-stars.
The difference between the East and West is huge.
It is. The only thing, I just don't like Cowherd because he's arrogant. But like I said, a lot of stuff that he said was very true.
Yeah.
But, I think the Bucks probably watched that video too, and that's why they came out and won Game 3, and that was a huge game.
That was huge.
Chris Middleton, I'm just going to say this because it's a fact. Chris Middleton would be an all-star no matter if he's in the East or West.
He barely made it in the East.
Yes, because did you listen to the playoff games so far? And have you looked?
No, I'm talking about
getting touches.
No, the playoffs don't happen.
No, but I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. he is not getting touches. He hasn't gotten touches all year. He goes to a team where he's the man. He's an all-star. It depends on the team that you're on. He's playing with the MVP.
Let's put it like this.
In the West that you can be the man of your Christmas.
He's not going to be the number one anywhere.
Never.
Anywhere you go, he's not going to be the best player.
Is he the number one on the Suns?
The only player he'd be the number one player is the Knicks.
Devin Booker.
No, Devin Booker's
Booker's
definitely
a point guard. He would distribute, but Chris Middleton would be the scorer. It's like Chris
Devin
Paul,
Booker is a better scorer than Chris Middleton too.
I love Middleton as a shooting.
Yeah.
His shot is beautiful.
So
it really is.
There's no great number 2 player on the Milwaukee Bucks. I think his best chance to be great is the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
If you put him anywhere else, I don't think he's doing as good as he is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think he does better. He's a pure shooter. When Giannis, I'm saying they fit great together, but by people saying he's not an all-star because he's playing with the MVP, and the MVP is taking most of the shots.
I think the Bucks situation makes him better.
And here's the reason why: because when Giannis drives to the lane, I've seen it many times be broke down on ESPN. Giannis drives to the lane. What do you see? You see the 4 guys that are not guarding Giannis take a couple steps into the paint, and guess what? There's 4 shooters on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And Giannis is looking for Middleton right away.
One thing that Middleton does great, if he gets a little guy on him, a mismatch, he's a great post fadeaway guy.
He's very smart.
But going to the East and West, you take the 1 through 8 teams in the West. You got the Spurs at the 8th seed, okay? You got OKC, the back end. You got, the Blazers, the Rockets, the Warriors, the Clippers in the back end. Look at the East. Only 1 through 4 is good. Pistons are irrelevant. They're trash. Okay? The Pacers with Oladipo are decent. Mm-hmm. Okay? The Spurs, the Clippers, OKC, even though they can't play together and be clutch in the playoffs, they would dominate any 5 through 8 seed in the East.
Oh yeah. OKC would definitely.
So I think it all is coming together. The East and West factor wasn't huge, but now look at LeBron. Mm-hmm. You took a terrible Cavs team and was the number 1 seed.
Also a lot older than he was. You're saying if LeBron would go to that team, say he decided not to go back to the Cavs, say he would have went to the Lakers, he would have been a lot better than he is now because honestly I think a lot that's going on with LeBron is his age.
Yeah.
If stats would tell you different. He's got just as good stats than he does throughout his average of his career.
Yeah.
They're higher. They were higher actually this year. I said in a different video.
That's why the stats and everything went up. But that's why he is the way he is now is because he gave everything that he could this year and all of his stats are up, but he's tired.
Yeah. It's definitely wearing him down, yeah. I will say this.
He can't continue to do that either.
This is like players with stats. You can have high stats and not be a great team player.
All right.
You still have to make your team good. I could, obviously I'm trash at basketball probably. But if I go out there and, I'm the best player on the team, I'm going to put up my shots. I'm going to hit my shots, but I'm not incorporating the team. You're not going to win. So if you're focused on your stats, you're going to get your stats. You have to be focused on the team like he was when, he played for the Cavs and the Heat. It's like he's not doing that anymore. Yeah. He's focused on himself, so people say what you're saying. Oh, yeah, he had good stats.
So I understand what you're saying. I would disagree, though, because I think LeBron is still a good team player. He just hasn't – the Lakers are terrible. There's no good. There's no good players. Yeah, LeBron got lazy because he got sick of
him into guarding a shot.
On the Cavs, he had people that could shoot threes. You know how pissed he looked so many times when he would give it to Lonzo for an open three and Lonzo would airball it. Mm-hmm. He would walk back down the court. Yeah, you can't have that attitude, but the Lakers are terrible. I will say this though. the East have 2 or 3 great teams that they've never had before. Okay, the East has never over the last 10 years, other than a great Heat team, Cavs team, they never had a Bucks team like this. Okay, they've never had a Toronto team that have 5 great guys playing. Okay, the East has never had a great Sixers team like it is stacked now. But after the 4th seed, it's irrelevant.
It's funny that we're talking about this because ideas are just popping up in my head. Like, I think Giannis is the face of the NBA right now, and he will be for the next 10 years.
That's why he was on the cover of 2K.
Think about this, and the viewers think about this too. Take Giannis off the Bucks.
Yikes.
Yeah.
They're nothing. And let's face it, the Bucks. People might think that they're a super team because they got their 3 people. Who are they 3 people? Giannis, Chris, and Bledsoe.
That's what you.
Bledsoe's
Yeah,
so
you.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's all Giannis.
And remember, Brogdon's not even playing right now.
Exactly.
And
Lopez has done absolutely nothing in the playoffs.
Yeah, Splash Mountain.
Well,
dry.
so Lopez was great in the first series. Lopez is a great defender.
Yeah.
Down low, he's long. He's very good at defense.
But the thing that the Bucks do the best is shoot threes and score 140 points in a night.
Yeah. You know why? The first game versus Celtics, Giannis settled for threes. I don't know how many threes Giannis took in the first game, but he missed a lot. He was actually okay with shooting. Mm-hmm. It was starting from the start of the game, he was pulling up for a couple of threes. Mm-hmm. Game 3, I don't think he took 1 3. Maybe towards the end.
0 for 3.
Maybe towards the end.
Yeah.
But the first half, I didn't see him take a 3.
The one thing that I was really concerned about with the Bucks is I know you disagree with me on this, but every time he's driving to the lane, he is getting shoved. And if you watch it, Al Horford, I don't know how he gets away with this because yes, they're calling some very, iffy calls and soft calls, but watch some of the no calls. Al Horford takes both hands and pushes Giannis at the waist. I'm like, how do you...
I think that's a one-out situation.
It's happened the whole series. We can watch the game tomorrow and point him out.
The thing with Giannis, though, is he doesn't even have to take threes.
No.
He doesn't.
No.
If he didn't, he wouldn't have to at all.
Yeah, I think he was getting frustrated.
For himself and all the pressure on being the best player ever, you have to have that all-around game and be good.
That's what everyone's saying, yeah.
But I mean, if they win it all this year, dude doesn't even have a 3-point shot, and they're not even a super team. I wouldn't classify them as a super team.
Wow.
This is probably the best Bucks team that
How much are they paying
I've ever saw.
Bledsoe?
But
he is one of the highest paid on their team.
And
he's over $10 million.
He's a free agent after this year, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think they just...
Did they re-sign
They
him?
just re-signed him, yeah.
He's not having a good playoffs.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, he does need to get a shot.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
The reason why... No, what if they... So, going back to Colin Coward's the topic... Mm-hmm. The big point was the Bucks are a regular season team, and they aren't a playoff team. We don't know. We've never seen this Bucks team in the playoffs. But what if, I don't think they're going to lose since they won Game 3. What if they would lose this series? This season is useless.
Yeah.
You have to develop a shot if you're Giannis if you lose this series.
They shouldn't even...
No one can guard him.
Just imagine if Giannis did have a shot in this series... This game, they probably wouldn't have lost a game, and I don't know if they would lose a game in the series to the Celtics. If Giannis could shoot, that takes so much pressure off of everyone else because they play off Giannis when he's at the 3-point line, and they play for him to drive. That's how every time it gets frustrating trying to watch the Bucks because he's sitting outside. He's not going to shoot it, and he's looking to pass it, but everyone's sagging off him. And they're playing in the paint or at the elbow. But if he has to guard up, like Al Horford has to guard up on him, that opens up so much more space on the offense. People just move then, but it's just slow.
So you got to look at it like this, though. You have Brown that was in your starting lineup. Connaughton's playing a lot. Okay.
Planet Pat.
These are guys that shouldn't be starters. Okay. Yes, Giannis is good and he is helping the other starters be great, but you can't take away from teams that they're playing for, like the Celtics. You got Kyrie, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford. Okay, those are great guys. You cannot down them. Like you can't just say the Bucks would win the series easy, because the whole Celtics team is energetic, and they're all great players. You can't say the same about all 5 of the Bucks starting players. Like, you got Brown and you got Connaughton. Connaughton stepping up.
You're right. All we have to say is one player.
Right.
That's the truth.
That's why I think they'll never have a guaranteed spot in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Who, the Bucks?
Right. I think they need to keep improving. They can't be satisfied with this year. Right. But
every team has to keep improving. I mean, even Golden State, they always constantly trying to improve.
Right. I just think if we essentially have to see how the playoffs pan out, right? Even if you lose the Eastern Conference Finals and you don't get in the championship, is this a successful year for the Bucks?
I would say yes.
If you lose the Eastern Conference Finals, I think that's an average.
Unless they get swept, then yeah. Because you're right. They do need to improve, and I think they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's face it. This is really their first year of dominance in the regular season, right?
Yeah.
So they definitely have to improve.
Let's just skip to the next one here quick because that was a long one. It's already 1:30 here. So basically this is just a little lowdown guide to fantasy football.
Draft strategy.
Basically an overview. So you took a quarterback first round last year.
Yeah, don't ever make that mistake. Do not take a quarterback first round.
Now, to make it clear for some people, because there are people we don't know that are going to watch, we do have 6 points for touchdowns for quarterbacks. Okay. We have 12 people in this league. In our league, we have.
Correct.
Anyway, this is just normally it's 4 points for a quarterback.
And it's a PPR league.
So I think we agree 4 or 6 points. Don't pick a quarterback first round.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they take last place.
I don't think there's a. I don't think there's an elite.
That was more of who you picked.
I don't think there's an elite quarterback like there has been, like Rodgers when he was extremely good. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees when he was extremely good.
You would have had a very solid pick if Rodgers would have went off this year and had a great season.
Yeah.
But like even Tom Brady last year went to that was not a good pick. I had him in my other league, and
I feel like you can wait so long on quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Because look, a guy like
Josh Allen.
He could run.
We just knew it each other. We just knew what we were talking about. Yeah. Like, out of 32 quarterbacks in the league,
there's so many.
You look at a guy like
quarterbacks that you can get later on that might end up getting you more points than an Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady.
I think last year I ended up getting Russell Wilson in like the 5th or 6th round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like he's
I get
a solid quarterback.
My standpoint, I got two quarterbacks like back to back in like the 8th or 9th round because it's matchups. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So going into that, what do you focus on at the start of your fantasy draft?
At the start? Well, I guess.
What are you going to?
It depends what pick you have, but I think in the first round, no matter what pick you have, either go running back or wide receiver.
Yeah, you have to.
So if you do have if you're picking in the top 3, any of these would be safe. Saquon, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey if it's PPR, Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, and Julio. I think those are all safe picks, 1 through 3, even 1 through 4.
Now, my question is, I don't think there's a number one receiver. Like, there's not a go get this best receiver, 1 or 2 receiver, like there was maybe 5 years ago when Julio had his best stats, when AB had his best stats. There isn't.
Yeah.
So my strategy to the draft is get 2 running backs, get top 2 running backs, and then go from there.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going running back right away, no matter what, unless, for some reason I get like a Julio drops to me. I have the second to last pick. Unless like a Julio drops me, I'm going to go running back no matter what, because so many teams are going to the dual backfield that I want a guy who's going to get the majority of the touches. It was Todd Gurley last year. I don't know what's going to happen this year with him. But James Conner, I've been saying
McCaffrey
it this
is
whole time.
very versatile. There's like 5 great running backs that you can pick. What you don't want, a tip to not to do, is don't get a bad running back. Don't wait to even fill up your second running back slot late. Because if you don't have that one running back, you can't play matchups as a running back.
Yeah.
You can play matchups with quarterbacks and receivers.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, this random receiver, John Brown, is going to have a long touchdown pass because, that's what these random guys do.
So my strategy, first 5 rounds, it's going to be running backs and wide receivers. Unless in the 5th
There's
round.
a great tight end?
Yep, unless in the 5th round there's a great tight end on the board, I'll take that tight end. But the risks that you take to take tight ends, like this past year, you could have got George Kittle off of free agency.
Yeah,
and you can pick up those kind of guys at the tight end position. That's why I'm not worried. But to pick up a running back and wide receiver off free agency, it's a lot harder to do. So I'm just gonna fill up on those guys right away, and then you pick guys with high upside later. So
yeah.
What about some mid-level picks?
It really depends how the draft plays out. One thing I'm going to say what I'm not going to do, and there's always 1 or 2 people in every fantasy football draft that did this. It was me and Craig, I think, that like to do this. You know how the Seahawks were a great defense team?
Yeah.
The Bears were one year. There's no great defense teams. Oh, the Jags. The Jags is what I'm thinking about. There's no team like that anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't think you waste a 6th to 8th round pick picking an elite defense because I would say there isn't. You don't know who's going to be elite defense that consistently gives you points because games are shootouts now.
I literally pick my defense second to last because I will play matchups the entire season. And I will drop defenses, pick up defense. The bad thing about picking a defense really like mid-rounds is that they're going to face a couple high-powered offense, and then you have to sit them. They take spot on your bench. You might miss out on a free agent for that week. That's why I will consistently throughout the season drop defense, pick up a defense just for 1 week. So that's my thought on defense, but I was never high on picking like the Jags or the Bears or anything like that because no matter how easy of a schedule they have, they're going to be in a shootout one game.
Thing is, you go with matchups with defenses too. 2 good defenses, pick your matchup. Who do you like? Put them in for this week. Brett commented, this is a good point I was actually about to say. He said if you don't get top 3 tight ends, if you don't get one of the top 3 tight ends, you might as well pick them in late rounds. Mm-hmm. I agree with that to a point. It sort of goes for all positions. For instance, tight ends. Right now, off the top of my head, there's 2 great ones, and what he said, Ertz and Kelsey. Mm-hmm. Okay, Kelsey's going to have a great year. He's going to have to more on his shoulders. Ertz is great too. Ertz slowed down towards the end of the year because they had Dallas Goedert and other guys just doing a bunch of things. But so what I'm saying is for every position, there's different tiers or levels. Tier 1 is Ertz and Kelsey. Tier 2, Ebron, Kittle. Okay, you have those type of guys. After Tier 2, then it just sort of drops from there.
Yeah.
So you have to see where in your draft, how your draft is going. You know, if the Tier 1 and Tier 2 guys are gone, don't waste a 9th pick on a Jimmy Graham when you can get the same equivalents in the 14th round.
Mm-hmm. I already know who I'm picking at quarterback this year.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yep, correct. Fitzmagic, baby.
I think to go along with the mid-level round picks is if you solidify your 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers and then you have that flex position, I think your flex position should either be...
Go off the draft.
That too, but more along the lines of tight end or wide receiver that's not a number 1 on the team, but more along the lines of like a security blanket for that quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends if you're doing PPR or not too.
Yeah, right.
So PPR, there's so many different scenarios. It's tough. You know, it's tough for us to give like tips because you could do 4 points or 6 for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
When it gets closer to the season, we can break that stuff down and do separate videos that we'll start doing. But
one of the main things for draft strategy also is seeing who other people pick, because we're all in the same league. I picked 3 running backs right away. Running backs are off the board, kind of. Well, then you have an option. Well, I'm going to go wide receiver heavy then, or I can get the top tight end, something like that. Or say I'm going against like last year, you picked Rodgers. So that gave the next pick, I think, was it Julio?
The one thing that I'll say off of that, though, is, like, I think no matter what, like, snag a running back as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Because last year, I think I waited till the 5th. I want to say it was the 5th or 6th.
You had Cohen as your best running back.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. You went wide receiver heavy.
I went quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you wait that long for a running back, you might be in trouble.
Yeah. Any other last comments?
No.
But yeah, once we get, I mean, we have so much going on right now with, booking the live show, at Wilders, starting ordering shirts, ordering other stuff,
softball stuff,
personal stuff,
friends, baby.
But we're gonna. Before each season, we didn't do it for MLB because we just started this and we had a lot going on as well. But before the NFL season, we will do a long tips for fantasy football, more in depth, and we can do a mock draft, stuff like that.
And then we'll have short videos by ourselves that we give out tips, and that'll be on our Patreon for you guys to look at, and then you can follow us throughout our fantasy season, and whoever's doing better kind of take tips, and then obviously if I'm in last place, you're not going to want my tips. But
NFL season.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Doing videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's it. Wrapping up for episode 7.
Yeah.
Episode 8 is next Sunday. It's going to be later at night for that one. But everyone...
Friendly reminder, do not try to carry weed on an airplane in a container that they won't let on the
That's
airplane,
illegal as
even if
itself.
it had liquid in it.
For anyone, just in case you were going to do that.
So,
All right. You guys have a good Sunday.
have a good one.